Hello, my name is Nathan Slafter. I am the founder of Rent, the platform that lets you pay rent, build credit, and earn rewards. When my wife and I moved from New York City to California, we did a little math and we realized we had spent enough money on rent that we could have bought a house. Yet we had nothing to show for it. And there are many, many other people that have experienced that exact same thing. And we started thinking to ourselves, why is it that I earn rewards for everything that I do, for the airlines that I fly, the hotels that I stay, the coffee that I drink, the haircuts that I get, but my biggest monthly expense, on average, 30% of people's take-home pay, they don't get a thank you, they don't get a latte, let alone a free night stay, or an opportunity to build credit for the future. Rent is broken, so our company, Rent, is fixing it, letting you pay rent, build credit, and earn rewards. Now, when we talk about paying rent, this is not unique in the space. There are other payment gateways out there. However, what is interesting is that 80% of the US who rents still uses paper. What does that mean for landlords? Trips to the bank, making sure checks don't bounce, making sure it's registered in the ledger. And then for renters, you have to pay using cash and checks. It's 2019. It's 2019. Oftentimes, the checkbook is only reserved for renters and for your landlord. And so what do? We created a frictionless gateway that connects the two, but moreover, we're thinking about payments. As a socially conscious millennial or individual, do you want to round up your rent to help charitable initiatives? Do you want a one-stop payment gateway for everything rent, your Wi-Fi, your cable TV, your utilities? And that's what we've done. The next thing we looked at was building credit. This one aggravates me. Why do I have to give my FICO score, my background check, my bank statement to my landlord, yet as a renter, whatever I do has no impact whatsoever on any of those things? FICO is built for ownership. It's built for debt. So we've created a proprietary rent history score that's built for the rental economy. We are now in a renter economy. We see it with Uber, Airbnb, the gig economy. We're in a renter economy. So how do you build a renter economy credit? Through transactions. Did you pay your rent on time? Did you pay your rent early? Through behavior. Did you get your security deposit back? Were you actually a good tenant? Through reputation, like what did your neighbors think about you? What did your landlords think about you? And through social good, are you building community? Are you rounding up your rent to help homeless initiatives and more? What's important to mention is before, there has never been an opportunity until recently to create and store this type of behavior in a proprietary manner, but now we have that availability with distributed ledger technology and blockchain. So that's what this rent history is built on. And speaking with dozens of landlords and property managers, one of their biggest pain points is tenant assessment. Yes, you may pay your credit card every single month, but you are a terrible renter. And so now we solve that problem. So pay rent, build credit, and we tie it all together with rewards. Finally, I get something back for that rent. Think of us as the ultimate membership ecosystem for the renter economy. And when we talk about rewards, this is things that are tangible by paying your rent on time, paying your rent early. But moreover, landlords now, for the first time, have an incentive to drive behaviors that make their properties more valuable. What do I mean by that? Who's the first person to know whether or not they're going to renew their lease? The tenant. So if you can incentivize early lease renewals, or if you can incentivize finding your replacement, that's a win-win. No longer are you dealing with vacancy, no longer are you dealing with problems in occupancy, like you've solved the problem. And so what we're mentioning here is the whole paying rent, building credit, earning rewards is truly greater than each one of its parts. And the reason that we're able to do this is our team. So I have a background in business development. I've invested in companies, I've advised, I've raised millions of dollars for different companies. And so now we're doing it for ourselves. And so in building teams, I was like, I get to pick my ultimate team. So the first person I chose is my wife. Yeah, she's a designer. You can see by the slides, like she is next level. The next thing I did is we have some significant elements in technology that we're building, something that's pretty novel and that's proprietary. And so I chose Marty Mosley. Marty is an amazing world-class enterprise architect and technology officer. I also have Alex Morrissey. Alex Morrissey is a PhD quantum physicist out of Berkeley who's helped think about gamification and AI, because we're talking about two very interesting elements that are going to transform this renter economy. One piece is the rewards ecosystem that drives behavior, and the other one is the blockchain that's just establishing credit. And so what we've already done is secured a significant amount of IP. Trademarks, we've identified several patents. I have over 150 domains. And so rent's going to be synonymous with the rental economy. I've already invested $60,000 in this project. Our prototype is done. We are now in testing, and we will be launching probably within 4 to 6 months. How we're going to market is very strategic. Did you know that 50% of the US lives in 40 major cities? So we're going to fish where the fish are. We're going to start with New York, the Bay Area, and Chicago, and we have a two-prong approach. If you've ever been to a city, you always see the buses and the subways. We'll have those engaging, exciting marketing opportunities, strategic viral campaigns, guerrilla marketing. But then our executive team and our landlords have deep relationships with family offices, with REITs, as well as a National Apartment Association. So we'll be approaching the business development strategy to engage property managers and the landlords alike. When you look at the renter economy, it's a $1.2 trillion spend. This is 36% of Americans who spend over $600 billion on rent. The vast majority have no rewards whatsoever. But moreover, these are the exact services and goods that we are providing through our ecosystem. So we are the platform that is going to aggregate this renter consumer, which is important because the renters are the new consumer pipeline. What do I mean by that? Last year, SoftBank invested $120 million in a renter insurance company focused on rent. $120 million, billion-dollar valuation, 90,000 users. That's 1/10 of 1% of the market in the US. $1 billion, 90,000 users. What's powerful there is Rent, our platform, is the ultimate pipeline for all things rent, including renters insurance. And with the data that we're collecting, we will eventually be able to underwrite insurance, and that's how we make money, through simple lead generation, through affiliate marketing bounties, also through the data. We are collecting a significant amount of data and small transaction fees. And as we grow, we're looking at a lifetime customer value in year 2 about $120, and by year 5, that'll accelerate to $496. That's an ARR of $30 by year 2 and $124 by year 5. Our model is validated by a third party, and it's built upon industry benchmarks. So I'm talking industry benchmarks for cost of goods sold, for customer development, for product development, for G&A. And it looks like our gross margin will then be about 37% before taxes and depreciation, which gives us confidence to predict by year 5 we'll have 600,000 users at $57 million in revenue. And that's 0.06% of the population. How we're using the money is, right now we're putting together $500,000 to complete the prototype and bring it to launch. And then on a parallel path, we're putting together $3 million in Series A financing to approach those 3 strategic markets, New York, Chicago, and LA. And as we do it, we're transforming an industry. We've established trust with the consumer. We've become socially conscious. We're the integrity platform. We then become the bank. We become the financial service provider for this renter consumer. And what's powerful is once we have that consumer attention, we increase value for every single stakeholder in the loop. And what I mean by that is this becomes a very interesting play then for the Trulias of the world, the Zillows, potentially at Amazon. Like they want a new consumer demographic that they can market to. For another financial services company, an Aon Insurance, or a brokerage, potentially a SoftBank, or an IPO. So my name is Nathan Slafter. I am the founder of Rent. We are elevating the renter economy. Please email me at nathan@rent.ai to learn how you too can pay rent, build credit, and earn rewards. Thank you.